Good morning. I'm sorry I'm late, but oops. Today we're going to talk about programming, mind control, the matrix, the different stages of consciousness, and awareness of such things actually brings the power and the sovereignty back onto ourselves. I want to make sure my sound is coming through really good for you guys. A lot of information to go through today, and found this fascinating article, and it is linked down in the description box. And actually, on this specific stream, if you choose that you want to share it on your platform, it's okay. I think I need to change it to Creative Commons or something of that nature. Or if you want to use the article and put your own, information with it, go for it. Because I think it's really important that people know what is going on in the background in order to take control and have that power within them. We see so many people that seem like they're taking downloads or upgrades, or they're just not seeing what we're seeing, and we try to get through the best that we can. But if you don't understand or have an understanding of what is going on, they won't get it. They're not going to get it, so because they're so deeply engulfed into what I'm going to share with you guys today. So it helps us to have a little more compassion, and hopefully, one of the hardest things for anybody to face is that they have been mind controlled or are not in control of their own thoughts or making their own decisions. It's a hard pill to swallow. And then after going through the article and things like that, we may open up the phones and let you guys share what you know, or ask questions, or whatever. We'll see how things flow out here. I am working on putting together a panel of people who have an awareness of at least the basic stages of consciousness, and their perspective on them, and what helped them to awaken and become aware in order to help other people. That's like one of the biggest things that we need to overcome and understand, is that there are these things going on in the background that a lot of times, we don't know. And since we don't know, we fall into these groups of division or separation, and we think that these are our original thoughts or our original feelings, but actually a lot of the times they start out in us from youth, from childhood. And it's a shame when we find out things of that nature are going on in society today. So that's why it is so important to share this, at least the fundamental basics, so we understand what is going on. Take a drink. And since I'm late, we'll give them a few minutes, because I know they send out their little reminder thingamabobbers, that, oh, we're live. And I was going to start at 9:30, and then ended up pushing it back to 9:45, and then now it's 10 o'clock. So sorry. I'm so sorry. But I did say skip the freaking commercial. I think it's when I come on through OBS that it'll play commercials, because when I come on through StreamYard, it doesn't seem to do that. So I need to do something with the settings there, so that doesn't happen to us. Okay. Now the article that I'm sharing is quite eye-opening, and I do recommend that you go to the link, because they've made a little movie or video that I'm not going to play here, but I am going to read this article. And if you've been following along with the videos that I've been dropping, they're like time released. They are about taking our thoughts back onto ourselves and the awareness and things that we think are taboo not to look at, because we've been conditioned to not look into certain things, to be able to take back our decisions and to learn what it is that we are drawn to learn. And that also helps break us out of the paradigm of being under control, hive mind, automaton, and going into freedom, sovereignty, and actually the unity and diversity that each of us are so unique and have so much to offer. Instead of picking each other apart for differences, we actually start to respect and share, because that is what we're truly made of. Boil this down, and that's what we're truly made of. But with all of this going on, overlaying over top of us, it's very, very difficult for us to peel back that onion, so to speak, get all those layers out of the way, and get into the truth of who and what we are. Okay, I'm going to now pull up that article and go ahead and read that to you, because it is so important, and this follows along with a lot of the things that we've been talking about and sharing. So let's get me, where am I? Let's get me out of the way. It's me. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. And let's bring up, I love my TV. And we're going to screen share. It's not. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's on the infinity screen. Let's see. Okay. Now you guys know I can't see you because I'm sharing on the article. I hope that I put the TV up big enough where you can see it, or see the words, or read the words. Okay. The 10 Modern Methods of Mind Control. This is from the Truth Journal, March 15th, 2020. Okay, so let's go down here. Okay. The more one researches mind control, the more one will come to the conclusion that there is a coordinated script that has been in place for a very long time, with the goal to turn the human race into non-thinking automatons. For as long as man has pursued power over the masses, mind control has been orchestrated by those who study human behavior in order to bend large populations to the will of a small elite group. Okay, today we have entered a perilous phase where mind control has taken on a physical, scientific dimension that threatens to become a permanent state if we do not become aware of the tools at the disposal of the technocrat dictatorship unfolding on the worldwide scale. Modern mind control is both technological and psychological. Tests show that simply by exposing these methods of mind control, the effects can reduce or eliminate, or at least for mind control advertising and propaganda. More difficult to counter are the physical instructs, which the military industrial complex continues to develop and improve upon. The number one is education. The most obvious, yet still remains the most insidious, has always been a would-be dictator's ultimate fantasy to educate naturally impressionable children. Thus, it has been a central component to communist and fascist tyrannies throughout history. No one has been more instrumental in exposing the agenda of modern education than Charlotte, was that Isserbite? Okay. One can begin to research into the area by downloading her free PDF, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The deliberate dumbing down of America. How many of us have heard that phrase over and over and over again? The dumbing down of America. Okay, which lays bare the role of globalist foundations in shaping the future intended to produce servile drones lorded over by fully educated, aware elite class. Number 2 is advertising and propaganda. Edward Bernays has been cited as the inventor of a consumerist culture that was designed primarily to target people's self-image, in brackets, or lack of. So they go after our self-image, and then from our self-image, they attack us and make something that would be a want into that we think we need or have to have it. Okay, this was intentionally envisioned for products such as cigarettes, for example. However, Bernays also noted in his 1928 book, Propaganda, I don't know, they did these weird insert of words there, so I'm going to have to skip over those. Okay, that propaganda is the executive arm of the invisible government. This can be seen most clearly in the modern police state and the growing citizen snitch culture wrapped in the pseudo-patriotic war on terror. The increasing consolidation of media has embedded the entire corporation structure to merge with government, which now utilizes the concept of propaganda placement. Media, print, movie, television, and cable news can now work seamlessly to integrate an overall message which seems to have a ring of truth because it comes from so many sources. Simultaneously, when it becomes attuned to identifying the main message, one will see this imprinting everywhere, as this is not even to mention the subliminal messaging. So now we got advertising, news, and propaganda, and subliminal messaging. Number 3, predictive programming. Many still deny that predictive programming is real. I would invite anyone to examine the range of documentation put together by Alan Watt and come to any other conclusion. Predictive programming has its origins in predominantly elitist Hollywood, where the big screen can offer a big vision of where society is headed. Just look back at the books and movies which you thought were far-fetched or science fiction, and take a close look around society today. For a detailed breakdown of specific examples, like Vigilant Citizen is a great source that will probably make you look at entertainment in a completely different light. Number 4, sports, politics, and religion. Some might take offense at seeing religion or even politics alongside sports as a method of mind control. The central theme is the same throughout: divide and conquer. The techniques are quite simple: short circuit the natural tendency of people to cooperate for their survival, and teach them to form teams bent on domination or winning. Sports has always had a role as a key distraction, which corrals tribes and tendencies into a non-important event, which in modern America has reached ridiculous proportions, where protests will break out over a sports celebrity leaving their city. Oh my goodness. But essential human issues such as liberty are giggled away as inconsequential. Political discourse is strictly in the left-right paradigm of easily controlled opposition. Many of us have already seen the polarity of the right-left paradigm. You can see right through that narrative, and yes, that's amazing that we're able to see through some of the wiles that they use against us. Okay, while religion is the backdrop of nearly every war throughout history. Did you guys know that? I mean, did you tie it in that religion is the backdrop of nearly every war throughout history. That's terrible. Hi, Doc Michaels, Red Pill Paul, Really Woke Richie, My Skies 5D. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Okay, back to the article. Okay, number 5, food, water, and air. Additives, toxins, and other food poisons literally alter brain chemistry to create docility. Docility and apathy. Fluoride in the drinking water has been proven to lower IQ. Aspartame and MSG are excitotoxins, which excite brain cells until they die. Oh my goodness. And easy access to the fast food that contains these poisons generally has created a population that lacks focus and motivation for any type of active lifestyle. Most of the modern world is perfectly groomed for passive receptiveness and acceptance of a dictatorial elite. And if you choose to diligently watch your diet, they are fully prepared to spray the population from above. Okay, number 6, drugs. This can be any addictive substance, but the mission of mind controllers is to be sure you are addicted to something. One major arm of this modern mind control agenda is psychiatry, which aims to define all people by their disorders as opposed to their natural, or as opposed to their, human potential. This was a foreshadow in books such as Brave New World. Today, it's been taken to an even further extremes as the medical tyranny has taken hold, where nearly everyone has some sort of disorder, particularly those who question authority. The use of nerve drugs in the military has led to record numbers of suicides. Worst of all, the modern drug state now has over 25% of U.S. children on mind-numbing medications. I know this is a hard topic to touch, but you know what? Awareness is key. We can only fight back when we are aware of what is going on. Then these weapons no longer work on us. And many of us, and I'm going to list here in a few minutes, are with our awareness, are able to take our stand and take our mind and our thoughts back onto ourselves. Number 7, military testing. The military has a long history of testing ground for mind control. We know this, you guys. We know this. The military mind is perhaps the most malleable, and those who pursue a life in the military generally resonate to the structures of hierarchy, control, and a need for unchallenged obedience to a mission. For the increasing number of military personnel questioning their indoctrination, a recent story highlighted DARPA's plans for transcranial mind control helmets that will keep them focused. Wow. Oh my goodness, you guys. Number 8, electromagnetic spectrum. An electromagnetic soup envelops us all. Now we're talking about, Wi-Fi, cell phones, these frequencies. Okay, an electromagnetic soup envelops us all. Charged by modern devices of convenience, which have been shown to have a direct impact on brain function. Most of us who are awakened, we will turn off all devices and actually separate ourselves from any such devices where we sleep or where we relax, giving ourselves a break from such frequencies as much as possible. We will utilize orgonite as the absorber, or we'll defer frequency around it and then use that for a piece. So, or we've heard of Faraday cages. Some go to the extreme of making an actual Faraday cage around themselves so they are not bombarded by these frequencies and they are veered completely around them. Okay, in a tactic admission of what is possible, one researcher has been working with the God helmet to induce visions by altering the electromagnetic field of the brain. Our modern soup has us passively bathed by potentially mind altering waves, while a wide range of possibilities, such as cell phone towers, is now available to the world to be mind controlled for more direct intervention. Now, as I'm reading this to you guys, realize this, that the elite, they have these things out in the open, but they also are able to overt these things, and that's what the importance is here. They are not going to want to be manipulated by their own things they put out. So obviously, they have such things to divert this type of thing from happening to them or their children. Okay, number 9, television, computer, and flicker rate. Excuse me. It's bad enough that what is programmed on your TV, accessed via remote control in brackets, is engineered. It is all made easier by literally lulling you into sleep, making it a psychosocial weapon. Flicker rates tests show that alpha brainwaves are altered, producing a type of hypnosis, which does portend well for the latest revelation. Okay, that I lost my place. Sorry. That lights can transmit code, internet data by flickering faster than the eye can see. The computer's flicker rate is less, but though video games and social networks and basic structure, which overloads the brain with information, the rapid pace of modern communication induces an ADHD state. A study of video games revealed that extended play can result in lower blood flow to the brain, sapping emotional control. Furthermore, role-playing games of lifelike war and police state scenarios serve to desensitize a connection to reality. One look at WikiLeaks video Collateral Murder should be familiar to anyone who has seen a game like Call of Duty. Number 10, last but not least, nanobots. From science fiction horror directly to the modern brain, the nanobots are on the way. Direct brain modification already has been packaged as nanoengineering. A Wired article from the early 2009 highlighted that a direct brain manipulation via fiber optics is a bit messy, but once installed, it can make someone happy with the press of a button. Nanobots take the process to an automated level, rewiring the brain molecule by molecule. Worse than mini droids can self-replicate. These mini droids can self-replicate, forcing one to wonder how this gene would ever get back in the bottle. Just stumbling. Sorry, you guys. Forcing one to wonder how this genie will ever get back into the bottle once unleashed. Expected date of arrival? Early 2020. Think about it, guys. Early 2020s. Okay. A concerted effort is underway to manage and predict human behavior so that the social scientists and the dictatorial elite can control the masses and protect themselves from the fallout of a fully awake, free humanity. But only by waking up to their attempts to put you to sleep do we stand a chance in preserving our free will. And that's why I find this is key in importance to why we need to know such things are going on, so we therefore are aware And when we're aware, we can protect ourselves. And by protecting ourselves with the awareness, we can therefore stand against it. Now, as for the electronic currents and stuff, we are aware of orgonite. We're aware of what copper, they used to. Come on, you guys, think about this. All of our water pipes used to be copper and used to be long lasting. So those would be running all along the bottom of your home. All right. So older homes may still have copper piping. This, you guys, was safe. This would veer off such anomalies. But now they use PCV plastic for all of our plumbing. It breaks often. It's junky. That nobody really knows why they replaced copper, the beautiful long-lasting copper, which is actually, if you drink out of a cup that's made of copper, that water is actually purified and clean. So copper does many things to help us as, humanity as a whole. So that would basically make an older home with copper piping a Faraday cage in itself. And here is the in that link that is in the description box, there's a link here to the Real Truth Science. They've got a video out here. It says, according to many authorities, since the late 1950s, and if you've been watching the posts, the mind exercises and the sacred secrets, have been dropping, and bite-sized pieces, this information, because this information is powerful information. And subliminal content has been tested and delivered through all forms of media at an increasing alarming rate. Programming the Nation examines the purported uses, influences, and potential subconscious side effects of what's going on beneath the surface of advertising, film, music, and political propaganda. I do recommend you come back to that article and watch that video. Okay, media, politics, and pop culture. Programming the Nation takes an encompassing look at the history of subliminal messaging in America, according to many authorities. Since the late 1950s, subliminal content has been tested and delivered through all forms of mass media, including Hollywood filmmakers Alfred Hitchcock, and William Friedkin. I also want to mention that if you think about when Elvis came out and hit the stage, how music changed, that's when that tuning fork, that tuning instrument came into being, where they started tuning their instruments to this device that actually knocked the frequency off from the peaceful, harmony that went with our body as a natural flow, to being off to such a degree that it created anger, hostility, depression, fighting. It changed many things about our society. And, we are becoming so aware of such things. We've got beautiful singers and so much talent within our community. Anybody who's not subscribed, Richie, or really awoke Richie, if he's here, I think he's here. I think I saw him and said hi. He is now back doing his gigs, and he puts them on and allows us to listen to him singing live. Also, we have John Binney. John Binney has retuned his music to the exact right frequency in which it should have been before this tuning change came into being. So he puts out almost a song a day, and they do help to keep us in balance. And actually, how if it's like in balance is you want to chair dance. You want to groove with it. You want to enjoy it. Lifts your spirits, brings back good memories, positive memories. I mean, even the music from, I'm not going to give away my age, but from my era in which we enjoyed, today, when I listen to the music that is new and broadcast out, it is so twangy and off. It really does create some, a little hostility, a little short temperament, especially you're driving down a freeway and you're in rush hour traffic, bumper to bumper, you could usually last for at least a good 30 minutes before you get like road rage, right? Now, if you listen to that music, we're talking 5 minutes and you're totally pissed off at everybody around you, and there's nothing anyone around you can do about the situation that they're also in with you. So, like, the empathy leaves and anger comes in, and, just look around you. The proof is there for everything that I'm exposing here to you guys today. Okay, with eye-opening footage revealing interviews, humorous anecdotes, and an array of visual effects, the film categorically explores the alleged usage of subliminals in advertising, music, films, television, anti-theft devices, political propaganda, military psychological operations, and advanced weapons development. Director Jeff Warwick makes it his personal mission to determine. Oh, sorry. Makes it his. Where was I? His personal mission to determine whether these manipulative tactics have succeeded in programming the nation, or if subliminal messaging belongs in the category of what many consider urban legend. Now, we know that there's so many people that we try to talk to, that we try to, give them some truth and give them some information, and it's like they take an update. Even when you point out a Mandela effect, they agree with it, or they will say it in the way that it was, and then you say, exactly, that's how I remember it. Did you know that it's this way now? And they seem to immediately take that update. It's in the frequencies, it's in the air. We have the armor on because of our awareness. The knowledge is power. I know, that we are taught that eating from the tree of the knowledge, but it says of good and evil, whatever, is supposedly bad. No, you guys, come on. Everything that we're taught, everything we're told, think of it as being flipped upside down and inverted to come fully aware of who you are, how amazing you are. They know how amazing you are, or they wouldn't go to such lengths to get you to manifest and create, or to put you in such a docile, passive state of being to go along with whatever propaganda is put forth for us to back it up. Okay, and then there's some other links that you can go to from this. All right, let me come back over to you guys and move that. Yeah. Okay, and move that. You guys like my little GIF? I made it just for you today. Today, just for you. Okay. And that's not to hypnotize you, and it's not, you'll find that a lot of times in my videos, that I'm trying to talk or to share at a level where we're able to think about it, reason with it, agree with it, or disagree with it, giving us the room to think. It may seem slow. It may seem, not quite up to the pace in which that you would like to hear things in, or in the manner in which you'd like to hear things in, because we're so used to instant gratification, we want to know now, instantaneously, because of everything that's been going on around us for so long. And this is not something new, you guys. From the research that I've been doing, this has been going on. If you were born probably from the 40s on, you were born into this, that already, starting from, from a youth, from going into the educational programs, come on. I mean, it's in our face. They call it, even television programs, or just, It's really, really sad. And the bondage that they put us under has so many facets and so many levels to put us asunder, to make us docile, passive, and not stand for what is right. As many of you know, I had to make a very, very hard decision on whether I should leave a post up or not, because whether what I was asked or actually told to remove one post, and then I was told they weren't going to be happy with just the one, they wanted two of them down, and then they weren't even going to be happy with that, then they wanted to file a suit on me, and then wanted me to do a formal apology. I had to really, really think about and weigh out the options, because I cared for this person so much and I didn't want to harm this person. But I looked at it, I had to pull myself out of that situation and look at it from a position where I was not part or party to it, and take my emotional standpoint or that relationship out of the way, and look at it from the standpoint of what did it do as a whole. What happened with people as a whole. I don't think my platform is all that. Don't get me wrong, I do not. But we do send out energy, and the people who come here are very powerful and understand transmuting energy, and we understand how to block these type of things away. Therefore, I made a very tough decision to leave it up, because what happened after was everybody went back to their own thing. Everybody went back to because in the truth of this, it doesn't matter whether we have disagreements within one another, within each other. We are all in this together with a common goal, which is to help other people with what we have to offer, and also get help from each other. I mean, it's a thankless job that we do, but we do it for the embetterment of mankind, for the self-awareness. The more we know about what is happening on that end, we also need to take into consideration that they are using methods to protect themselves and their children from such phenomena as the electronic frequencies that are passing through the airwaves, or what could be being dropped in the nanobots from the sky. How to protect yourself from such things. What do we do? What are some of the things you guys think are the important things for us to know for self-preservation and protection? Self-awareness, number one, knowing yourself, not what you've been conformed into. And to say that each and every one of us was not under some form of mind control at some point in our life, we would be lying, because we were. We all were at some point. How we got disengaged, or how we are disengaging to be free thinkers, to have our self-awareness, to truly know oneself, is a revelation in itself. So how did we get there? What steps did we take? And that's the things that we should be helping each other to lift each other up, and to come out of such passive, or just going along with the flow of things, or like what the article said, snitching on our neighbors. And I mean, we've become the Gestapo against our own neighbors and against our own family. What? Stop. We should be with our own family, unconditional love, standing there one for another, weathering the storm. We don't always get along, even within families, but we love each other so unconditionally that we eventually get over whatever the disagreement was. And to truly respect someone is to respect the way they think and the way they be, without trying to control or oppress or shame somebody into compliance. When we're using threats or those type of things to get somebody to comply with our way of thinking, we have become part, not only are we mind controlled, but we are becoming part of the problem of using these kind of tools and weapons to mind control others, or we call it bullying, okay? But really it's mind control. It's oppressing someone that if you think differently than me, then you're completely wrong. If you don't think like me, I can't be around you. If you don't believe like I do, I can't be around you. We're distancing ourselves into these small categories, these small camps, which is much easier to control when they've got us broken down into such small, condensed groups. It's so much easier to infiltrate and to come in and take over a small group just with a little charisma and a little understanding of our consciousness, which, like I said, I'm putting together a panel, and I want to put together of diverse people that are aware of the different states of consciousness, and how people who are aware of consciousness and how this works, a lot of times they'll have a history with broadcasting or knowing how to flux their voice or pattern talking, or even with group meditations, or guided meditations. Guided meditations are something I steer clear from, and the reason being is because you put yourself in a suggestive state. Therefore, you are allowing whomever is guiding that meditation to pull you down to whatever way that they are wanting you to go. And you can actually see the difference between somebody who is mind controlled or influenced by somebody who performs guided meditations. It's heartbreaking. And you can also tell the difference between people that click out and leave before a guided meditation takes place. Maybe they'll listen to the banter back and forth and enjoy the chat back and forth as we are here now. And then as soon as it comes down to the meditation, then they're out of there. Because we understand the different levels of the consciousness. I'm a Beyond Quantum Healer practitioner. I totally understand the different levels of consciousness. And I understand the implications of having somebody on my table, so to speak, of what kind of power. It is a power that I have over somebody that would be on my table. Now, I don't take a bunch of clients. I'm very picky. I will question you up one side, down the other on why you are seeking such a thing. Now, if it's to break you out of programming and become a free thinker, okay, we can discuss that. Because if you feel trapped to a point, there's no other choice. But not everybody has the integrity that I bring in. I clean myself out. I bring none of my own intentions in. It's all about you and the betterment of you, if you can talk me into doing one for you. So you have to really be stuck. You have to really be stuck before I will even go that route. And another thing is, I wouldn't want to do a Beyond Quantum Healing session on you and you have such phenomenal results from it, such freeing results, that you think, oh, I want to do it again. And then because it's not a repeat business type of thing unless you have completely different questions. And a lot of times if you come back to me for a second one, I'm going to refuse you. But what scares me is then you will go out and seek out for another Beyond Quantum Healer. And a lot of times, repeat business comes from that suggestive state. So I understand the different levels of consciousness more than you guys understand, because I did take the classes. That is the only education in spiritual awareness and consciousness that I've taken, and got certified in that, because I was interested in how all of this works at a fundamental level. And now, knowing how our mind works and our consciousness works, sitting there with flicker rates, putting you in a lull state while okay, something amazing about our mind is, just as I was describing the other day on the live stream, that sometimes we can travel up when we drop off into the what we call the books of life, or the Akashic records, and you pick up things out of your peripheral, and everything is absorbed into our mind like a sponge. Okay, and it'll be the things like somebody reaching down and petting a cat, or somebody checking an injury on an animal or stray animal, somebody smelling a flower. Those are the things that we drop off into those records, those random acts of kindness. But in the meantime, our consciousness is so expanded that, and this goes for everybody, that we see all of these things, we absorb all of these things. And so this is why it is so important to unveil this within, that is within each of us, to take our sovereignty back onto ourselves, project out of us the unconditional respect and love as brothers and sisters, not being passive. Do not get me wrong. When somebody is taking advantage of you, hurting you, harming you, shaming you, or coming up against you in ways that, they call that they knock you off balance. They knock you off balance, and then will continue to banter and harass until they get you either to shrink back and stop what you're doing, because they're like on a mission now to subdue you. When they feel that we are back in control of our mind, our thoughts, and we are therefore no longer under that thumb, these kind of phenomena may crop up in your life. Be ready for them. Stand strong in your own thoughts, in your own reasoning. Think for yourself and do whatever is the healthy thing for you to do. I'm going to go on the white page so I can actually read the chat. So we can go into knowing what is going on within us, and understanding what's going on within us with full awareness. And it's jumping right along. I haven't been over onto the white page. Okay, what I'll do is, let's see if it shows me participants. Oh, I guess since I just got here, it only shows me as a participant. So sorry, I wanted to say hi to everybody. Okay, let me see. Stop. It's doing a heck of a catch up. Okay, we got Brian Watson. We got Really Woke Richie. We got Preliminal. We got Red Pill Paul. We got Paul from Newcastle. I love saying this. Preliminal, who's an amazing cat, by the way. Yeah, Paul from Newcastle. They're still just jumping. I hope that you guys got something from the article. Do you guys want me to turn the phone on? Hi, Lucky Burglar. You're new. And so I've seen a few new people. Now, I did go over onto Brian's premiere, and I did post this. And I have also said that, and anybody that thinks or feels this is important information, you're free to go ahead and download it on your platform. All that I ask is that you put my link, and you put the link to the article, so anybody that views it is able to go directly to that link. I don't care if you monetize it. None of that matters to me. What is more important is getting the information out to people so they understand, at least these 10 basic levels of mind control and how we can overcome and defeat this. Acknowledging it is the first thing. If we walk around in denial that it's not happening, then we're part of the problem rather than part of the solution. Acknowledging that we recognize that there are NPCs, or seeing people, and I mean, right now I'm thinking about Brian, how he deals with people that will admit to him that the old way that things were, and how he remembered it, and then when he tells them that's not how it is now, they instantly will change their perspective, now matching the new narrative. We see things changing around us. We know this is happening. My physical, in my hand Bible changed. The words changed in it. I was reading it. I set it down, put my placeholder. When I went to pick it up the next day, I always read back a few passages, so that way I can get back into the flow of where I was reading, and it changed what I read to the next day. Caesar's image was now on the penny, and it was it said the night before the denarius, and you can't tell me that that's not a change. Lincoln's face is on the penny, people. We know this. Some of these things are common sense. And since then, there's been so many biblical changes. I mean, come on. We all knew Isaiah 11:6. There's posters everywhere. And the lion shall lie down with the lamb. And we, from my early childhood, was taught that the lion and the lamb were both Christ. So the wolf to dwell with the lamb. What? And all these posters with lions and lambs. Now the verse does not make sense. And so, and I'm talking about my, upbringing in Christianity. Now, even with my upbringing in Christianity, I had to get unbound. I was binded up into religion. Religion is binding, and faith is not. We can have faith and imagination and creativity and all of those beautiful things. But when we're sticking to a rigid doctrine, think about that list that I just read off. It is about, with starting from childhood education and religion and politics and sports, and all of these different anomalies are used to control. So faith is not a bad thing. Believing that there's a creator of this place, that's not a bad thing. Talking about the sacred geometry, if you want to build something that lasts, by using the sacred geometry as how we see like snail shells, or just there's different patterns, and you get those when you learn the dimensions, which I'm going to do a part 2 of that, where we're actually going to get into the numeric sequences for a little deeper dive on Metatron's cube. But if we pattern our buildings after those kind of dimensions, they will last. They're not going to blow down with the first gust of wind, or decay, or be destroyed. But we're taught all of this is bad. Don't touch, don't look. And then when you do look, or you're exploring, you're called every name in the book. And that's what I'm talking about. Shaming. People will shame. They will tear you down. But stand strong. Stand strong, because your eyes are being open. Your eyes are being open to who you are, self-awareness, and taking back what is within you, and controlling what is within you, and having say-so is what is important here. We're not animals. We will not tear each other down for having a different perspective or point of view. We will have conversations, and we always have the right to agree to disagree and not make it into a shaming or bantering or a tearing the other one down type of a situation. That's mind control. How can you discern if somebody is mind control? Is they use those exact tactics against somebody who says something that they don't agree with, and they don't have the reasoning because it's been robbed. And I'm gonna state this again: we've all been there. We've all been there to some degree or another, unless I would say that from the 1940s on, heavily indoctrinated or heavily infiltrated, and to break through this matrix paradigm, self-awareness and knowledge of the weapons that are being used against us is key. It is one of the first fundamental things we need to know in order to be able to stand against the wiles of those whom wish to control us. We're not animals, you guys. We are free, sovereign, unique beings. We're meant for so much more. And another tactic again is using the labels of disorders. They keep adding more and more and more disorders. If you're a free thinker, you've got some kind of disorder, right? If you see the Mandela effect, it's confabulation disorder, right? Because they don't understand it. And those who do understand this breakaway of free thinking and awareness or consciousness and coming into our own will use such tools in order to subvert or detour people away from even looking into it. So we need to be aware of what is going on and how that we can go about freeing other people from such bondage. But you cannot free somebody that does not quite understand that they're in bondage. But by providing some information that is logical, that has studies behind it, as the article is that I just shared with you, is a good way for somebody who may not be aware of how deep that they're in to take a look at it. To take a look at it and see which categories that they fall under and what things that are impacting them. And then they become more aware that, okay, wait a minute, I very well may fall into some of these categories, and by falling into the categories, they'll do the research and then find their freedom. So let's not worry about whatever disorders are put upon anybody who is sharing information that I find it really hard for. I would say it would be more confabulation to see something that is tangibly changed and agree with it, and then to change your entire way of thinking to the new narrative of how it is displayed now. That's probably more in the lines of what confabulation is a program of mind control, instead of the people who are seeing the Mandela effects and pointing them out and standing their ground with their memory. Being strong in our mind is a blessing. And I think that we should always show gratitude for those who are standing out there, standing in the gap to bring such information that's not popular amongst a lot of people who are, under so many levels of programming. And we'll get into it, like breaking free of that programming. I can share the steps that I took that were very beneficial in pulling me out of such things, and allows me to have the free mind, and allows me to pull myself out of situations as a character and look at situations on a broader spectrum, unbiased to how it impacts people as a whole, rather than to protect my own self, or one other person, or the dynamics of a situation. What outweighs the other? What was more beneficial to humanity as a whole? And make decisions accordingly on many different facets of things that I share here. I'm not all woo woo here. I'm very grounded. I am spiritually awakened. I understand that side of us. Actually, I understand that that is us. We're spiritual beings in an avatar, having a physical experience in order to grow and expand, and in our soul. It's fantastic. But to be usurped, and to be buffered from having the full experience that we're intended to have here, it's time for us to stand in the authority that we have within us, and break through the matrix programming. Some people can do a reset by going with the shaman and doing a DMT. So when they do or ayahuasca, and so when they go on a journey of such, it can almost do like a brain system reset back to you. And like I said, I'm not against anybody's methods that they have found themselves in. I myself didn't have any of that type of usage, but it doesn't take away the importance and the value of what it has done for many others. There's many different things that people will use, but not as a continuous use. I'm talking about like a breakthrough, just to have your breakthrough. Sometimes we medicate ourselves because this place is so freaking upside down, and we know it's upside down, and we don't understand why it's so upside down. Well, you guys, here I hope that this shows you how some of this has transpired, and how we the people, average, everyday people, can take it back onto ourselves by knowing this is going on, and how to fight back and stand with our own thinking, with what our own decisions are, how our mind leads us instead of being led. Let's take that hook out of our mouth of being like a fish that's getting reeled in. Let's become the hero of our own life. We are, after all, we're all built unique, and we're all built to lead our own life. Lead, not follow, not be usurped, not be bullied, not be shamed, but to be able to express everything we have to offer to one another in respect. They're also planning a John Wick 4 and 5. You know what? I actually I like the movie John Wick. But see, after you go through, let me get a drink. After you get pulled out, and let me explain something. Once you get pulled out and you've had your awakening to this matrix, you understand, and you've got an understanding of what's going on. You can then engage and enjoy a movie. But you've got your shield up, so those flicker rates are no longer going to infiltrate. that's why I express how important it is for knowledge. Understanding this about ourselves brings the power back into us, allowing us to be the free thinking, unique individuals. We do not have to be thinking alike. We don't have to believe alike. When I read in that article that they say most wars or all wars were started over religion, that is food for thought, you guys. If we're in a religion that's supposed to be talking about peace and loving thy neighbor as thyself, what are we doing fighting wars in the name of a religion and killing each other? Can you not see how polarized opposite that is? It's out as propaganda is this, but it's used to manipulate into something gross, evil. So if you want to come at me with religious scriptures or judge me based on your belief structure, that's between you and your programming. Come out from underneath of that. Come out, because I will never judge you on how you choose to believe, or your faith, and I will never try to convert you or postulate that my religion or whatever is the best. I'm about freeing people, freeing your mind, freeing you, your abilities, your gifts, and talking about everything that we have within us and the very powerfulness of each of us. Or it wouldn't be so darn important for them to control us in the manner that they do. Think about it, you guys. I wish more New Age folks would catch on to flat Earth. It's more positive than war. Sunset lights, when I do that panel show, that's probably going to be my area, that because I've been claimed that I am a New Age, which I really still to this day don't quite understand. I know we're in a New Age, which is the age of Aquarius. Okay, I got that. But I've been free of religion. I'm taken out of it. But I've been called a New Ager. But what I see within that community, the problem that I see is the awareness of the different levels of consciousness and the usurping each other with getting into altered states of consciousness under such things. That is something, because meditation on its own is beautiful. Like I say, I praise when I'm asking, I meditate so I'm listening. But if let's say, I'm just going to give an example of a healthy meditation versus something that could be unhealthy. Okay. Healthy meditation would be, we all go and we meet at a park. Maybe there's 100 of us, and we go to cities, like that one group did, and there's actually a scientific study on it with actual numbers. And they go and they they announce that what they want to meditate on is peace, and but they don't guide each other. They each go and sit down, and then they meditate in the way that they know, and then they think, as a group meditation on peace. They've had measurable drops in crime that were so substantial. And in Chicago, I think it was 2 to 3 weeks after they left that it maintained, and they wanted them to come back. Please come back, please, because of the crime rate had dropped so significantly. So that would be a healthy meditation, where it would be something that would be something we should think about, and it's not always unhealthy, but guided meditation, where you've got somebody up in front who's putting you in a suggestible consciousness using breathing exercises, and you are now quieted and you're following their voice and they're guiding you through a meditation. Well, if their intentions within them are not 100% pure, and anything is going on in the sidelines, you're now suggestible and connected in tandem with them and picking up. And then later on, you may find when they're talking to you, their voice will set off like a trigger within you, and whatever they say, you will believe them. That's when it becomes like an unhealthy situation. So we must always, always keep our guard up. And when we do that panel, get that panel together, we're going to go into the different levels of our consciousness. What do we start? We start with beta, then we go to alpha, delta, and theta. And no, delta, I'm sorry, is asleep. Theta is highly suggestible state of hypnosis. And most beyond quantum healers will want to get people into a theta state in order to address whatever pain problems or traumas or wherever they may be stuck, to overcome such things. But again, when you're going to see a beyond quantum healer, if they're taking in any or have any other ulterior intentions, your mind is in a suggestible state. So always take care on, who you allow to meddle around in your mind. It's your mind. You need to be in 100% control of it. So anyways, how long have we been going? Oh my gosh, it's been over an hour. Wow. Yeah, New Age is a pretty general term. I agree. None of us like labels. Right. And you'll see Lucky, what is it? Burglar? It's so cute. You'll see that the labels and all that, as we become more and more conscious and aware, and these tools that they try to use against us fall away, the labels drop. We don't have labels, except for we're human, mankind. And there's no little tiny groups and all of that. We come together and we enjoy learning about each other's cultures. We see the beauty in it. And it's not you have to agree with me or you're out of my group or out of my, you don't believe like me. I can't talk to you. We lose that. So that was a really excellent point. So thank you for bringing that up, because you're right. The labels go away. Totally go away. LOL, is that a boast? Yeah, well, yeah, I liked his comment. And then there's Really Woke Richie. That he's the one I talked about earlier that does the singing and the gigs. So definitely, Richie, can you put your link in there for anybody who's interested in listening to some good, healthy music and chair dancing? And I always get my favorite people just love to give me those thumbs down just to let me know they're there. Number one, Matrix Man. Wow. Without their books and distraction, life is very fun and simple again. You're right. I mean, I'll tell you, when all of that starts to fall away and we become the individual leader of our life, it may seem simpler, but it's actually got more depth, more excitement. We find more joy in it. Yesterday, I spent the entire day with my granddaughter, and, we had such a great time. I'm so excited. My son has begun working, and so I get at least one day because his shifts, because he's got joint custody. So if he has to work, I get my grandchild and I get to spend time with her. And yeah, it's the simple things, but it's deep. Her smile is better than anything else that I can, experience. Just seeing her happy and laugh. I mean, it's amazing. And we got Dead GPK is our awesome sky watcher. You'll find him on my homepage. I think you'll find Richie on my homepage too if he doesn't put his link in. So yeah, number one Matrix man. You're right. And it is life is beautiful, but it is about bringing back the knowledge. It's been too long of a stream. I'm not going to open up the phones because it's been too long of a stream, but I want to sew this up. I want to thank everybody for coming. You do have my permission to copy this or edit it down to where the article's written, whatever, or make your own with the article, whatever, to get this information out to anybody that you think needs it, or that it can help and enhance them in their daily walk of becoming sovereign, free thinkers, no longer backpedaling when they see a change, to convert to like NPC programmable status, to freedom walkers walking in full consciousness of who we are without any propaganda or programming, and breaking through our paradigm, becoming the programmer instead of being programmed. We are the programmer. Okay. I love you guys so much. Oh, I forgot to put the date. Today is August 17th, 2020, Monday. And it is right now 11:16 in the AM Pacific Standard Time. Normally do that at the beginning, but hey, I got it in at the end. Always remember, let's cancel that. Always remember to share what you know. Listen so we can grow. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you guys so much. Peace. Talk to you soon.